can't zoom it out, or...
No, it's as far as it goes.
This is like the same car you had before. How do we Oh, wait.
No, it's not. Ooh, now it's zoomed in. All right. Hi, guys. Technical issues. We got the clown in the back seat. Say hi, I'm Marissa.
Hi, I'm Marissa.
I knew that was coming. All right, so before we get started on this one, real quick, I just want to get this out of the way now. So for those of you guys who know, if you've seen Howard on the show, he's going through a really rough time right now, like the point where not even sure he's going to make rent. We're trying to figure stuff out right now. But we do have a GoFundMe page to help with the cause, so if you guys are willing to help out, give the poor guy a win. The link is in the description below. Please check it out. Anything big or small helps. It helps all of us pretty much, because you have something to say.
I'll say, yes, please help a good friend of ours.
Yeah,
seriously. It wouldn't help me, so that's why it's a good thing I'm plugging this too.
Yeah, so just...
Seriously, help him out, though. He needs it.
No, he really does. So if you guys want to help out, anything big or small helps. Just help the poor guy get back on his feet. That being said, let's talk about Killer Clowns. The things he fears the most.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space? I enjoyed that movie.
I've actually never seen that movie.
It's,
I know what it is.
Yeah,
like,
it is a delight.
One of these days. Like Killer Clown. It's like Killer Tomatoes or whatever the hell that one is called. What's
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That's the one. All right. God, so, yeah, the remake of It. The last thing I was expecting to say the movie was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's solid.
You concur?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought I love the kids. I thought they acted really well, and it made me
so
super excited for Stranger Things season 2, especially since that one kid was in it.
Thank you, Finn Wolfhard.
Well, we'll get to him. Yeah. No, really, the kids make this fucking movie.
Yeah.
They really do. They are so good in this movie, and they work off each other so damn well. And quite frankly, they talk a lot like how kids actually talk to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, it was so damn well written. It's like, this movie was funnier than it was scary.
Yeah, I agree on that. Now, granted, if you're already afraid of clowns, this movie's gonna fucking give you nightmares.
If you're like me, where you get you're scared by one movie a year, this probably won't do anything, but...
I will say this is scarier than the other horror movies you've seen this year.
Yeah! Bye-bye, man!
Yeah, I'm just gonna say bye-bye, man.
Oh, greatest comedy of the year.
I'm not touching you. Anyway. Go. That's a drunken movie night. Bye-bye, man.
I remember the trailer, but I didn't
oh my
to see it.
God, you've got to see it for how stupid it is.
It is so dumb. Like the Scooby-Doo dog in particular still makes me laugh. Okay, so very quickly, going on a tangent. There's a part of the movie where it has like these two tiny doors on each side of the bedroom for no fucking reason, and a little girl discovers it and and it has a wide shot. So she opens one little door and peeks her head out. At the exact time she's doing this, like an evil, poorly CGI dog head comes out the other door.
What the fuck?
It's really dumb because you can honestly add the sound effect. Whoop, whoop, and that's how dumb it is.
Yeah. That's what I heard in my head. That.
I just started leaning over here like, Reggie. But anyway, that's the dumb Bye-Bye Man movie.
I'm so glad I saw that when I was depressed that day.
That was one, I thought I was going to say one by myself, then you joined at the very last minute. It's like, hey, I feel sad, let's go watch this movie. I said, okay, sure. Yeah. And then we had a great time. But anyways, back to the Killer Clown. Now, have you guys seen the original?
Yeah.
Okay, you've watched the whole thing? No, you have not seen it at all.
I've seen nothing related at all.
Yeah. Although, there were some things that people say happened in that movie that I don't remember happening.
Like which one?
Well, in the beginning of this movie, they're saying that the kid got his arm ripped off. Did they even show that in the original?
No, they didn't.
Okay, it was just inferred or talked about?
I think it's inferred or talked about, or it's in the book, probably. Okay. This because that was a PG-13 horror movie, because it was a miniseries, so they didn't have any, guts or gore, except for, I think the occasional talking head. Which, who knows, that might be in the sequel. I am disappointed that the line... my favorite line from the original movie didn't pop up in this movie.
Prince Albert one?
No, this is battery acid, you little slime.
Yeah.
Not in the movie. I was so disappointed because they set it up too.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them for cutting that.
Yeah, because especially when that happened in part 2, that was pretty damn corny. I still remember, even as a kid, I was like, that is stupid.
But yeah, let's talk about what really works and before we get into the parts that don't really work.
Flashbacks that crap. Yeah. I believe in the Easter Bunny. I believe in Santa Claus. But I don't believe in you. This is battery acid.
I forgot about that line. Wow. You know the worst part about this is someone sent me a text telling me that apparently Babadook and Pennywise fan fictions are a thing.
No! Well,
so every time like Pennywise pops on screen, I hear this in my head. Followed by Babadook.
I think I just pulled a muscle in my neck.
well, the Babadook is now like the gay icon.
I know, right?
I think Jasmine had to explain it to both of us.
She did. Yeah.
Yeah, the B in LGBT stands for the Babadook, didn't you?
No, you heard about why the real why, right?
Yeah, because the Babadook appeared on somebody's LGBT section on Netflix.
Oh.
And someone put out, like, I think on Reddit or Tumblr or something, and the internet just exploded.
Oh, yeah, I think
and now apparently there's fan fictions, and yeah, they take fanfiction. Like, I checked fanfiction.net. There are so many of these.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah.
I imagine a blowjob from Pennywise would just be really painful with all those teeth.
It's more like, I'm just like, hey, you want a blowjob? It's a goose. I don't know. But anyway, let's actually talk about the movie now. So I was going through Maya, because this is the second time I've seen this. I saw it earlier this week with Laura, and we were talking. She really liked it too, and we were like, yeah, like as far as horror movies goes, this is probably the best one I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's a low bar.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's still like it's very entertaining. The characterizations are great. Like honestly better than a lot of Stephen King adaptations I've seen.
Yeah.
Like the scares that work are effective. At least again, if you're afraid of fucking clowns.
Yeah.
If you don't give a shit about clowns, yeah. If you got with no scares, then I would not blame you.
Yeah, because a lot of the attempted scares, like they felt really cliche to me. Like,
I mean, yeah, I get that.
Because I remember I was like, you didn't see me do this, but I remember I was making motions with my hands, like syncing everything up, like based on the time that they were trying to do something.
Yeah, I mean, like, and some of them kind of give me an unintentional laugh. Like, for some reason, the headless Boy Scout got a chuckle out of me. I don't know if it did for you guys, but...
Not really. I remember I was laughing at something else, too, though, but I can't remember which one it was.
I can't help you with that. I have no clue. But okay, so let's talk about the actual Pennywise the Clown. Now, you've seen the original. How do you think this compares with Tim Curry?
Skarsgård definitely gives a much authentically creepier performance.
Mm-hmm.
Curry, obviously for that, it was a product of its time. Curry, I
still think Curry is very entertaining.
Yeah, oh hell yeah! That's what I was gonna say. Is like Curry's absolutely fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a much more legitimate, like attempt to be scary.
So which one do you say is better?
I'd have to. It depends. If you want like a legitimately better one than Skarsgård.
You think so?
But like I said, I also had more fun with Curry.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because he was a much more Freddy Krueger-esque figure, whereas this one, they still tried to keep it like the way like he was actually like actively trying to taunt them. Like, so I'm glad they kept that. Like, it felt like the right balance.
When he actually talked, I thought he was pretty effective.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, they don't let him talk all that much. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll let you go ahead and finish it.
No, just saying it's like, yeah, that they definitely found a good balance with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he did a great job in that.
What do you think of Skarsgård?
I thought he did really well, and I agree with you in the talking portion, because I thought probably the scene he was most scary for me is in the very beginning when he gets the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, I was just saying, because he's, like, the way that he's talking to him, like, it builds up that kind of tension, and obviously you know he's going to get the kid, but, like, for a second there, you're like, well, because I haven't seen the original movie, you're like, maybe he's not, because, he kind of was just, like, he was kind of convincing, and
he does kind of suck at his job.
Yeah.
Well, who? Like
the clown, because
clown?
I think he only gets like one on screen.
Yeah.
True.
Well, no, technically he got 2. Because remember, there was also the other bully.
We'll get to the fucking bullies.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying?
But yeah, I think that when he was talking, he was the most scary. I thought he lost his he lost his appeal to me when they added all those cheesy CGI effects to make him go like, and it just looks stupid.
Oh, you mean like
I was
the
like,
part
not
where
even scary anymore.
Yeah, you mean the part where they rush him like,
yeah, so stupid. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
like
you're
those
not
effects
scary.
weren't good. Now there were some effects I thought were pretty good, or at least entertaining.
Is it weird that the effect that stood out the most to me was the boat in the water?
Like
the paper boat. I was like, it's weird. I was like, wow, that is oddly noticeable CG.
I didn't even notice, to be honest.
I know.
I guess I wasn't really looking for it.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to. I was like, at first I assumed they were going to use a real boat, but then it's in the water. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
But, yeah, that was more of a nitpick.
So that didn't bother me.
Yeah. That was a nitpick, telling me. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, the effects...
like, when they work, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, like that one
Well, they
transformation in the end.
Which one?
The one where he turns to giant vagina face.
No, the one where he...
like very teethy vagina.
where he kind of pops out of his trickster form, I should say.
Oh!
Which we'll get... I don't want to say too much yet.
We'll get into spoilers, I'm sure, later on.
Yeah.
Like, that was the part where, like, when he was part of his whole mouth opens up, turns, like, very teethy. I want to lean over to you and go, my ex. But you weren't close to me, and I was sad. Because God knows I've milked that joke into the ground over several episodes. But yeah, so I thought Skarsgård did pretty well. Like, one thing I noticed, because I was kind of watching some Tim Curry scenes, and there are scenes where Tim Curry is legitimately scary as Pennywise, but he's much more of an actual clown.
Yeah.
In the original while Skarsgård is really amping up the otherworldly element of the character.
That's a good way to put it.
So that's kind of... Someone else pointed that out, too. It's kind of like planted the idea in my head, I'll admit. But it's like, okay, I definitely see... It's definitely like the fact that he's not quite human.
Yeah.
Even when he's like, especially in the beginning, he has that scene where he's talking with Georgie, and then he just kind of just starts laughing, just stares out into space.
And that was the part that just like... Oh, Jesus. Like, the fact that his eyes were all off-center, I was like...
That wasn't a CGI effect, though. He can actually do that.
Oh, wow. No, and you can actually tell the difference between when he's, like, being CGI'd and when he's, like, in his natural, like, makeup or whatever. And I think he's a lot scarier when it's just him.
Yeah, when he's actually let him actually act.
Yeah.
The weird thing was his eyes did feel kind of CG, because it felt like
sometimes they did,
like they were brightened up. I mean, even when they were like
they had like the yellow. That's when they brightened it up.
In the blue state in that opening scene, like they had to brighten them up to compensate for the darkness.
Yeah, probably. That was by apparently they were originally going to CGI the eye splitting thing, but apparently he's like, oh wait, Skarsgård just did it right there. It's like, okay, cool. We don't have to CGI. I've seen a little money in the budget. Which I don't even know how you'd begin to do that, but apparently he can do it. So good for him.
Kind of like basically how Jim Carrey saved production a ton of CG budget because his flexibility in the mask.
Oh yeah, that's right. But there's I've heard some criticism too of the opening scene. Like, why on God's green earth would you ever go near a grate with that fucking thing staring at you?
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand,
carry on a full conversation with it, like.
Now, to defend that scene a little bit, as a clown, I can safely say the conversation they have does match conversations I've had with some kids, which makes it really creepy for me. And really, I was actually joking around with Laura earlier this week, and I was saying, like, well, I guess I don't have to worry about being a clown for a while. And then I got an email, like, later that day saying, you gotta be a clown this Saturday. It's like, fuck.
Oh, please go as Pennywise. I know a friend who can do it for you.
I think I'd get fired pretty quick. Like, you did what? Like, I thought it'd be funny. Comedy!
Okay, I did not realize that all 20 of those kids were brought into an R-rated movie. That's on the parents!
Still, you see the fucking trailer. See the goddamn clown everywhere, especially when the teeth... The teeth thing's gone viral.
Yeah,
so
I will say this. The teeth... When I first saw that as a still, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That is creepy. In motion, not quite as effective, but...
I still thought the projector jump scare was effective. Again, you don't get scared easily.
I know.
So you're not a good judge of character on that one.
That's why I was trying to stay myself there. It was like, it's like, yeah, I can't really...
Because it kind of freaked me out the first time I saw it, and then freaked out everyone else in the audience in here, too. That was when everyone started laughing and looking at each other like, you fucking pussy.
Oh, that was me during Paranormal Activity 3.
Oh, fair enough.
No, like, I laughed at everyone. Especially Jasmine.
So you're that asshole in the theater.
Oh, yes, I was. I laughed.
What else is new?
To be fair, that one actually got some good jump scares on me. But that doesn't mean I didn't stop laughing at everyone else, too, when at the other half I wasn't jumping at.
Fair enough. So let's talk about the kids, though, because the kids, again, are just so... Like, they really make this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, because it has a kid from Stranger Things. A bunch of kids, I don't recognize any of them, really, except for the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah, some articles say that there were, like, 2 others from that thing. It's like, oh...
I didn't see them.
Yeah, no, I think it was a
very well.
Misverification.
I don't know where they found these kids, but they got a fucking future.
Oh yeah.
At least they better. Like, I'm gonna be disappointed that any of these kids fall off the radar. Especially the stranger kid thing, who easily steals every scene he's in.
He had 2 of my favorite lines throughout this entire movie.
Which ones are those?
I remember.
Yeah, I know you told me, but it's
was go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing asshole.
yes.
Just the way he sells that, and then the whole bit, and some bit in the end where, a bit of a spoiler, but, we all saw it coming, is when they're confronting the thing.
Not the thing. That's a different fan fiction. I'm sure that exists somewhere.
They're confronting it. And there's some part where just Richie's just staring at Bill, just like, this is all your fault. He's like, I told you. You punched me in the face. You dragged me through shit water. I can't remember what the third one was. It's like, and you something or other.
Yeah.
It's like, and now we're gonna die because of you. It's like, I said we're gonna die, and then and now, just grabs a bat out from his vomit. I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown.
Yes. Goes full zombie land. Fuck this clown. But no, like, some of the best scenes in the movie are honestly kind of when it's like a summer vacation movie meets horror.
Yeah.
In that the best scenes in the movie are really when they're just being kids hanging out and doing shit. Like when they're all in the quarry, I thought that was a lot of fun. When they're just riffing off each other. My favorite lines in the movie was, hey, are these birth control pills? Yeah, I'm saving them for your sister.
Oh, yeah.
And all the kids have such great personalities, even though, like, they're kind of, like, stock characters a bit, but they totally make it work for them. Like, even, like, the kid who is, like, so, like, paranoid and...
I thought he was great. I thought he played the neuroticism.
Neurotic,
so
thank you.
Well.
Yeah, because the character is supposed to be like a major hypochondriac.
Yeah, hypochondriac, that's what I'm looking for. So, like, you go on this big long rant, like, and you heard of the AIDS epidemic? You got, like, I had this one person who had, like, got AIDS by, like, holding a dirty pole, and they're, like, blood and that shit got in there, and that's how he got AIDS and shit like that. Or better yet is when he, like, this is getting slightly spoiler territory, is when he breaks his arm and he pointed the
Don't fucking touch me! That was funny.
So, like, you have these weird moments of, like, honestly, the part where it becomes a haunted house movie is probably one of the better, like, sequences in the film.
Yeah. It has a lot. I thought it was like, there's some Raimi-esque moments in this movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like the use of the angles, the kinetic camera, and like some of that really dark humor.
Yeah. My favorite parts is just when, this isn't a spoiler, this is in the trailer, is when the kid ends up in, like, a room with all the clowns. And he walks in there and the coffin opens up and he goes, fuck.
Oh, yeah!
That would be me. So much of me. Like, I still love that thing we did that one night. We
said, roll this window up because I smell some doobie.
Ah, you pussy. Was the part where, like, where it was like, what's gonna be my gravestone one day? Just said, well, shit.
Yeah.
There's a parts I was, like, getting disturbingly reminiscent of things I've done or did or do, and it's kind of made me a little disturbed to myself just a bit. Like, the Pennywise dance at the very end, I've done that dance, unironically.
Well, no, I've done it ironically, but it's like, when I saw that dance, that was the part that made me laugh. Now I remember.
Yeah, and I was like, well, thanks, Pennywise, you ruined it for me. Now I can't do it anymore. Fucking take all my joy. And I don't know about you guys, but I related to the fat kid pretty hard.
Well, okay, so, and that's why I actually watched a video today about like this guy ranting. He's like, "Why can't fat kids ever get the girl?" Like he made her feel good with the poem when nobody else was. Like you know, she was basically bullied as well, and he like was there for her. He stuck up for her. He saved her multiple times, and yet she goes with Billy. But like, why? Like the entire time he like. Ben and
he's the main character.
But that's so stupid. Like let let the big kid also like get some love.
Spoiler alert. Read the book.
Go ahead. You said spoiler alert.
As in, trust me, he as and saying the guy who's complaining should have read the book. Hintity hint hint hint.
Oh.
Yeah, no, don't worry. He fat kid gets the girl.
Oh, nice.
So
after he drops, after he basically becomes Chris Pratt, or so the kid hopes.
Yes. Okay. So let's be clear on what. Speaking of kids that got horribly undercut in this movie, what the fuck, Mikey?
Yeah.
Of all the kids you cut out the black kid. Really? I felt so bad for that kid both times I watched. Like, let him talk.
It's like my grandfather's right. I'm an outsider. It's like, man, I feel like in terms of the amount of screen time you're getting, that's kind of the case here.
Yeah, it's the one that actively tries to get murdered by these insane psychopathic bullies.
Yeah. Because also,
he has a darkest backstory.
Also, I remember in the original movie, he was the one that was talking about the town's history.
I don't remember about that.
Well, I remember it's, Mike was the one who's like, he was the one that mentioned about the fires and everything.
Yeah, he does in this movie too.
No, that was,
well, he talks about the fire that he survived.
Yeah, but the fat kid was, because I still can't remember his name, he was the one that was talking about the town history and the tragedies. So basically, he got Mike's stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, I felt so bad for that kid, because it's like, one hand, I was like, oh shit, he has my name. That's going to make this movie really weird in some parts.
Yeah.
Mostly when the clown's going, hey, Michael. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, like I was so disappointed. Like, man, he barely gets a word in edgewise, and he's the only one that actively tries to get murdered because apparently the insane bullies also are racist.
Although, granted, not as racist as they were in the original.
I'm sure, but that takes place in like what, the 40s?
The 60s.
Oh, that's because he had the greaser look at the old. Well, now he's got the mullet, which I was like, wow. Like I first thought I was seeing this because like, okay, yeah, let's talk about the bullies now. Like, all right. Kids in their 20s, you're not fooling anyone.
They probably repeated they probably had a few repeats. A lot of repeats.
I'm sure, but like these kids looked like 24. like, dude, you're not fooling anyone. And then it just goes, it starts out pretty mild, more just annoying. And it's like, okay, maybe they're not going to go the psychopathic bully route. That's one thing that's always bugged me about Stephen King book stories. Yeah. But then it just suddenly jumps into chasing the poor fat kid down, or the poor, I shouldn't say fat, but the poor big kid down. And
I know
his name's Ben. Just call him Ben.
I didn't know. I'm terrible with names. We know this. This is well established. Thank you. Why didn't you say something after I called him fat like 5 times?
I called him Ben. He was calling him fat. I said his name is Ben.
Well, I clearly wasn't paying attention, so it's your fault.
She kind of got us back on him when I basically pointed out that he gets the girl in the end.
Yeah.
So, revenge!
But I'm anyway. Semantics aside.
Because I'm trying.
What?
His name is Ben.
I'm still trying to remember everyone's names. Because Ben, Mike,
Bill,
Richie, Mike, Ben, Bill, Richie,
Beverly,
Eddie.
Yes.
Because I remember the thing. I remember his nickname from the original, Eddie Spaghetti.
Of course you would remember that.
Yes, I would, because I remember random shit.
I can't judge.
Was there one more?
We'll go with that.
Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley. Okay.
There we go.
But anywho, so these and suddenly this bully just tackles poor Ben out of nowhere for no discernible reason except that he's the new kid. Apparently, he likes new kids on the block, which is an interesting recurring gag.
Yeah, because I pointed out one of the jokes that I was the only one that got it.
Yeah, you were. But
I was like, my God, how? It's like, I am...
You're old.
No, I was just born in the wrong era.
That's what they all say.
Because there's a part where, like, yeah, as you said, one of the running jokes is New Kids on the Block. Mm-hmm. So they're constantly making references to that. And so there's one part where after Ben gets sliced up by Bully Dickface, I can't remember his name now.
Bully Dickface is perfectly fine.
Henry, thank you.
I prefer Bully Dickface in this case.
Bully Dickface. So after he cuts him up, he's getting all patched up when Bev has a very creepy distraction from the pharmacist.
Oh, fucking pedophilic Clark Kent, yeah.
God, she deals with that so much. Oh, God.
Stephen Kane, man. Fucking Stephen Kane.
And also, I'm going to sound terrible for this, but he's like, you look just like Clark Kent. I thought to myself, yeah, after he fell off the horse.
Oh. Oh. I'm sad now.
No, I'm terrible. But, yeah, this is a reoccurring thing for Bev, too.
Okay, yeah, I want to go back, though, because, we missed a big part of that where it said he cut up this fucking kid. Yeah. But this is where, like, at this point, he's like, the worst he'd done at this point was, like, lick his hand and then grab somebody's face. Now he's like, I'm gonna cut my initials into your skin. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? We skipped some levels. Even, like, his friend's like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But then he just turns into, like, a fucking Gary Oldman villain, and he's just going, find him! Take him down! I want his flesh! Shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he wants to kill a cat at one point. Yeah. This kid's...
Aww. That was really sad.
Thankfully, he failed.
Yeah.
He was interrupted by his dickbag father.
Like, that was the part where I got the big reaction I got from anyone in the audience was, like, when the guy grabs the cat for him to use the target practice, everyone's like, oh, don't you shoot that fucking cat.
Don't worry, he's got 9 lives. Oh, dear God, he has 9 bullets! But
I don't need any more reminders of that movie, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Meow, that hurt.
No, it's meow, that hurt.
Wait, I don't need a correction. It doesn't matter anymore. That was a long time ago. That'd be my it nightmare. Mr. Fussy Pants.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There is a Kevin Spacey movie that was about him transforming into a cat. It was called 9 Lives.
It was god-awful.
Wow.
But my God, the reaction he got from the ending... priceless. Oh.
He laughed harder than that than anything else that happened that day.
And then you got your revenge with Sausage Party.
That's right. We both suffered through that, though, and I was really considered.
Yeah, but I basically had your 9 Lives reaction.
True, that's because of the orgy. Which is an interesting phrase to say.
But sorry, when I was at the joke though, I was also saying like there's some part where they're patching him up after the police cut him up, and like the kids are out of their element except for maybe Eddie.
Except for what was the guy with the glasses name again?
Richie.
Richie's just being an asshole in there. One part says doing a British voice while paranoid kid's trying to patch him up. Like, I need to focus you. I don't want you to like, come on, doctor, get in there. Yeah.
But anyway, at some point, like, Bev is like,
excuse you.
It's like, Bev, you got this? It's like, are you sure you have the right stuff? And yeah, I was the only one that laughed because it's like I knew that was a New Kids on the Block reference.
Yeah, I didn't. I missed that completely.
I never listened to New Kids on the Block, so there's no way I would have gotten that reference.
To be fair, I more got that knowledge from Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh.
Because he did a parody called I think it was The White Stuff, and it was all about Oreos.
I was more paying attention to the background stuff, so I was like seeing like the marquee with Batman and Lethal Weapon 2 in there, and
I laughed at how at least every one of those marquees had something to do with like fear and nightmares.
This is true. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Yeah.
Which was that the one with the Dream Child?
That was 4 or 5. Yeah, I think 5 was the Dream Child.
God, that was stupid.
Because I remember 3 was Dream Warriors.
Yeah, the fifth, that was a dumb movie.
You should see Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
I want to, just out of curiosity.
You got to see the Nintendo scene at least. That's all.
Oh, I've seen the Nintendo scene.
Oh, you're playing with power.
Yeah, I've seen that scene. And I also liked how the main kid's name. Bill had like I don't know if you guys saw this, but he totally had like a Beetlejuice poster.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
I was like, yes, 80s, love it.
That was an 80s movie. I keep forgetting that. Oh,
I've still never seen Beetlejuice all the way through.
I'm gonna show that to you.
We keep saying that. We eventually just gotta sit down and actually do it.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like,
That person almost hit that other person.
for the movie's flaws, and oh yeah, because this person almost backed into somebody over here.
Oh.
That would have been an interesting way to end this video.
But it ended with a bang.
More like a very loud thump.
And lots of yelling. What was I gonna say? I will say is like, I still thought, like, regardless if I thought this movie is scary or not, I will say is like, I still find this movie is very entertaining.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, like, again, the haunted house scene I think is one of my personal favorite sequences. I feel like that just went like so over the top, and you either find, like, again, depending on how high your fear of clowns is either terrifying or just fascinating to watch. Just from how much shit can we just throw at the wall, in a good way, in a way like, even though like the scares are kind of kind of creative and just how over the top they are. Like when they close, like when they find the door, one door says not scary at all, another one says kind of scary, the other one says very scary, and shit like that. Like, okay, that's kind of clever.
Yeah, that.
And then let Skarsgård do more of his thing. Like when this is the part where I knew what he was talking about in interviews, because for a while he said like, yeah, there's some scenes I'm filming the scene and the kids started just actively crying out, like actually crying. And like, no, it's just pretend, it's not real, it's okay. It's like, okay, I kind of respect him for that.
Yeah.
But like the part where he's like right in that poor kid's face and he's just mocking the shit out of him, going, ooh.
Oh yeah.
Just right in the poor kid's face. You know, like if any kid is gonna fucking cry, it's gonna be right here.
Oh Jesus.
Then he gets stabbed in the face with the pole. It's like, okay. Whenever they actually got a hit on this clown, it was immensely satisfying. I will say that.
I'll also say this. I was impressed. Bev was a fucking badass.
I loved Bev in this movie. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
Way better than Clark's mom. She was Clark's mom in Smallville?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you got that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. You ever watched Smallville?
No.
Okay, so then you wouldn't know.
Yeah. I didn't watch
I'm
it.
sorry, I feel like lots of you is like us giving the references that you have no context.
To be fair, I
whatsoever.
didn't watch Smallville either.
It was a soap opera. I fully acknowledge that, and it was dumb. I still liked it.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's like I was saying, Bev, fucking badass.
Yeah.
She also had the most interesting arc, I think. Just because, like, they explored many of the fears she had. Like, I love how kind of the idea is like emerging womanhood, and then just like the trouble she faced with it was like, you know, interjected brilliantly. Like, obviously, some of it comes from, you know, King's original writing, like with the whole blood in the foss thing, which I did not get as a child. I was like, oh.
The blood in the what? Sorry.
The blood in the sink. Like, I never got that metaphor. It's like,
Oh yeah.
wow,
I instantly got that one. Obviously.
yeah. This time around, I did. It was just like as a child, it's like, wow.
Wait, so would that mean the whole hair thing was just a large bush metaphor?
I don't
No,
think
that
so.
was just the whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was mixed in with there just because the whole cutting that stuff out. Like, it's just the fact that the hair was kind of like a secondary reminding shame.
Like, I don't know. Like, I've never read the book, so I don't know how faithful this is to the source material.
It's closer, from what I've read about it, it seems this one's closer than the miniseries was.
Okay. Well.
There were a couple changes, like, still no space turtle, or whatever the hell it was.
Well, doesn't that only come into, like, the very end?
Maybe it did. I thought it happened, like, at one point when they were a kid. Like, I thought at some point one of the kids got high or something like that.
That sounds like it probably happened in the sequel.
Yeah. On that note, I'm glad they also, once again, kept the child orgy out.
What? That's a thing? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
no. I understand the reasoning, but, oh God, I'm so glad they kept it out.
Yeah, there's like...
It's like...
Whether you love or hate Stephen King, I'm glad they make some changes.
Yeah. Because the whole idea was, it was, to King's credit, multi-layer, but still just, ew. Yeah, like...
What was the context? Why did that exist?
It was the idea that, like, Bev did it. It was like, in a symbolic references, you know, once again, that idea of emerging womanhood, the idea of taking control after all the inferred molestation / rape that was, you know, implied about the father. it was used to kind of bring them closer together.
Yeah, that sounds like justification for why that scene, the Killing Joke, happened. See, just as unnecessary and pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least, it's like
you can do all that without having a weird kid orgy, and that movie did.
Thank God.
Honestly, I think that would have devalued her character if they went that route.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it really built her as a strong, independent woman, which sounds almost cliche nowadays, but hey, it's always refreshing to see, because we still have to get over that fucking trope, apparently.
Plus, like I said, in this case, it was done well.
No, it was done well. Like, again, the kid acting is just so fucking good that, honestly, I would not be disappointed if they got Oscar noms. I know they're not going to, but it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? Kids actors don't get enough fucking credit.
Yeah.
At least good ones.
Who was your favorite kid?
I thought the neurotic kid was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Good choice.
But, yeah, so what I meant by, like, also was hers being the most well-developed was, like, they kind of explored the source of her fears.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else, well, not true. Mike, you understood his source.
Mike should have been one of the more interesting characters in the movie, but he's just so shortchanged.
Yeah. I also just realized, kind of interrupted you during the bully rant.
I went back to it.
Oh, okay.
That's when I was going, like, the harvest into your flesh, and he just gets increasingly psychotic.
Kylo Ren gets taken.
Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't the only one thinking that.
No, like, all I could think of is his name is Patrick, and he kind of looks like our Patrick.
Oh my God.
So that was what I was thinking. He does kind of like Kylo Ren in the early years. Yeah. Apparently he's really
That's
scared of
why
that
he's
girl.
so angsty now.
Apparently he's really scared of that girl from Exorcist. Your mother says cocks in hell. Bleh.
Yeah, because I know they explained in the... Yeah, I assume it was like, okay, zombies, why?
I don't know, because who's not afraid of fucking zombies?
Yeah. I know, yeah, it's like, yeah. There's something
again,
like...
that girl looked like a spitting image from the girl from The Exorcist. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was supposed to be like Night of the Living Dead. At least originally, since it took place in the 60s, Night of the Living Dead, but that makes sense.
So either way...
Exorcist did come out late 70s, but still, that wouldn't
I have no idea if that was intentional or not, but that's kind of what I got out of it.
Yeah.
So either way, like, the source doesn't really bother me. It's more like, ooh, spooky image, one annoying bully out of the way, and we had another one we gotta deal with for 2 fucking hours. One, again, it just goes from just 0 to 1 million in a span of a millisecond. Yeah. Like, I shot a can. I want to shoot a fucking cat. You fucking hold it. Stand still. And then, like, the dad comes in, like, watch him squirm, boys. And that's not his voice. That's how I'm doing it.
Yeah, then he shoots his gun off, like, at his feet, like, 3 times.
Like, yeah, squeal like a piggy. Wee, wee, wee. Yeah,
it's like, that...
So, like, were they implying that it was influenced by Pennywise the entire time?
No,
or just, like, at the end?
I think there was some influence, because I remember they mentioned something... when Bev went by the TV as well.
Yeah, like it was playing the same commercial, apparently.
Or do you mean that the bullies were influenced?
The bully was...
No. That was just like the kid...
So the kid was just naturally a sociopath.
Well, the fact that his dad was clearly abusive enough to be shooting guns at him...
Yeah. Still, like, there's a line between I'm gonna spit in your face and I'm gonna fucking carve my nips into your fucking flesh.
Once again, the fact that his dad was shooting at him... Not supporting his sociopathness, but makes me understand it.
I'm just saying, it just so comes out of nowhere that honestly, I would not be surprised he was a villain on Dexter.
Now, they did kind of hint at some other stuff before, just like throughout, like mentions like, "Oh God, Dad's gonna kill me because he."
Georgie says the same thing. He loses a vote.
There's a way that the kid says it.
That's after he goes full psycho, though. Like, there was, like, no in-between and die, you fat pig!
Well, I mean, like, when he loses the knife...
I'm sorry, Ben.
Well, to be fair. But, like, when he loses the knife, there's a certain fear that he has when he's saying that. That's something that Georgie's just like well, crap. That kid is just like...
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there's no in-between.
Yeah, I can agree. It's like, But I'm just saying, I'm just saying that wasn't fully out of nowhere. But I agree. It's like he's...
Well, the problem is, like, when you just said it only comes out after he tries to kill the kid. So, really, it still comes out of nowhere. We don't get the context till after he's gone full Dexter.
Yeah, yeah.
So, up to that point, he's just some asshole kid. Suddenly, like, he's an axe murderer.
You know what? No, that's not true. He got the death glare from his dad in the beginning.
You wouldn't even know that was his dad.
Yeah, I didn't know that was his dad.
Like, we were just coming to some random police office. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
True. No, I did too, but I like that that kind of like retrospective thing. It's like, okay, they weren't necessarily force-feeding it, but, you know, we think back, it makes more sense.
That's still too subtle, though, because I could have just been some dad watching, like, don't be a fucking asshole. Yeah. Not necessarily like, I'm gonna shoot your feet later on today.
Yeah.
Then, like, there's, a pretty wide berth between the two.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So that's one thing that bothered me more than anything else.
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest gripe in the movie.
I do agree that, like, it could have used some of that development in the beginning to make it make more sense.
Even then, I still thought, like, even if you did explain it early on, I still thought it was too over the top. But that's more of a Stephen King fault more than the movie's fault, to be fair on that one.
Because, I mean, for the most part, it's like that bully was relatively underdeveloped in those regards, except for those like moments. Like, it's more of a retrospective that I find it interesting instead of an in the like as it's happening thing.
Yeah, well, that's one of the Stephen King cliches I never really liked. Stephen Clean. Stephen Clean. Stephen Clean.
Just clinging on to the same premise for the past 20 years.
Oh! So, like, this town was originally used to catch beaver. Still is, am I right, boys?
Oh, fucking Finn Wolfhard.
Love that kid.
That reminds you, do you see...
Does this thing only get virgins? Is that the only reason why
Again, still my favorite. Fuck.
Yeah. What was it? That was... Someone was tweeting, he's like, all right, 5 minutes in, this new It movie sucks, more to come. And Finn Wolfhard, like replied to it, was like... Why do you have your phone out during the movie? That's just rude. Rule number 1.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, this kid is fucking awesome.
I love those actors. Again, like, I hope all these kids go on prosperous careers. They really deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't really think of much else to talk about. I think we've pretty much gone over everything that's worth talking about.
I do have one comment.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
When they were jumping off the cliff into the water... and they didn't die because they were standing up in the water.
Yeah, that bugged me too.
So how could they fall from that far and not die?
Yeah. See, I thought about that. I just chose to let it go.
No,
I was like, was there just like one really deep part, and the rest of it is like?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
No. It completely took me out of it. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna die. Like, she's gonna die.
Well, they hold on. They said there was a turtle in the water. Maybe it was Gamera. He's a friend of all children. So he's flying down. Always say Gamera, Gamera.
Yeah. Looks like this is it. Looks like this is it for us, gang. Gamera.
I mean, God knows we have a giant, like, Stephen King has a giant turtle in his mythos. Maybe it's just Gamera the whole time.
But that would make sense.
Would it? Would it?
It would make more sense than whatever the hell Stephen King writes.
Point. Our version's just better. He's in the Kaiju universe now.
Oh my god.
Can't wait for Godzilla versus Pennywise. It's gonna be a short fight.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like Godzilla meets Bambi. Do you ever see that cartoon when you were a kid?
Go to YouTube, type in Godzilla meets Bambi.
Oh my god.
It's exactly how you think it does. I'm not gonna waste your time. It's just the Bambi's like do 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 do, eats it down. All of a sudden, giant foot, boom,
bum, 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 bum.
Dead Bambi.
Remember, I actually saw that with my Godzilla 1985 VHS.
I did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I will say it was like I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but it was very satisfying to watch the clown get the shit beat out of him at the end. I honestly really enjoyed that sequence.
Yeah.
Something about like all that shit through the entire movie all of a sudden just got beaten up by a bunch of 13-year-olds with giant sticks.
I love how like after he pukes on Richie, he has like the hottest freak out. I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Everyone's like, I'm gonna kill this clown. All of a sudden, like it's just blah on Richie, and he's like. Like you see, like just hulks out like in the first Hulk, when the camera zooms in on Eric Bana. It's like I'm gonna fucking kill you. But it's like I'm going spaceship. So good.
Oh yes.
So yeah, I thought this movie was very entertaining. I've seen it twice. I'd watch it again. I had a lot of fun. You guys, I got final thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like I said, horror was cliche, but just the development and the writing was so, and the kids actually just so damn good.
Yeah.
I was totally fine with it.
Yeah. So we're all kind of the same page with different levels of like, but we all still liked it.
I will. Only other thing I can say is that it did feel like it went on a little bit too long.
Yeah, it's Stephen King, though, to be fair. It's still short in the miniseries.
Yeah, well, we still got part 2 coming out.
Wasn't the original miniseries like 6 hours, though? Even after,
about
like...
5.
Yeah, so still shorter.
What is part 2? Like, is it, like, how...
Like, when they're adults.
Yeah.
Because, like, the original miniseries has, like, interchange between them as kids and them as adults coming back to deal with it. So, like, in this case, he decided to divide it evenly. So the first one's all about them as kids, the second one's going to be them as adults. So...
Are they, so I'm assuming they're staying in the town?
They all move on to different things, but they all keep their blood pack to come back whenever it comes back. Actually, isn't Mikey the first one to die?
Does this person have her hazard lights on?
Still? Are they even in there?
No, she left.
Oh, Lord. Well, they're gonna come back to a dead car.
This has been on longer than that, so it might be okay. Well,
yeah, but if she's going to go see a movie, like a 2-hour, like if she's gonna go see It,
big fat piece of my fucking problem.
All right, I'll solve it.
she's driving like an idiot, anyways.
You're welcome. Leaving on your car. Your lights are on. You're welcome. Bye. I'm off. I am Captain Negative.
Yeah. Your lights are all flashing on and off. You're welcome.
Oh God, that song finally got out of my fucking head. Now, thanks for that. But yeah, you guys want to talk about trailers?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Most of you got the lights before. I don't know if you've seen a lot of these though.
I saw a few of them, not all of them.
So like, we got Suburbicon, which I'm still looking forward to.
Yeah, and now the fact that I just now realized that the Coen brothers co-wrote that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like, I mean, like, the Coen brothers have written movies that directors have butchered before.
Yeah.
But I still love the Coen brothers, as weird as they are. Barton Fink's still my favorite movies, although I admit that movie is balls to the walls crazy.
So I've read.
You've never seen it?
I have not.
It's on Netflix.
I know.
Why haven't you watched it?
Why haven't you watched Beetlejuice?
Point.
Damn. That was like watching a tennis match.
Damn. I'll show you the life of the mind. Go watch Barton Fink. You'll like it.
Yeah.
It's one of John Goodman's best roles, in my opinion.
I was told it was John Turturro. It's one of his best roles.
Yeah, it's both the roles, but like John Goodman gets so good. What do you think, Suburbicon?
Honestly, not to break your hearts, but I couldn't care less.
Fair enough.
It's like, for me, it's like, Matt Damon is an actor, the Coen brothers wrote this, and George Clooney's directing. I've got to see this cacophony of what the fuck.
It definitely seems like a what the fuck.
Not your kind of what the fuck?
Nah, it's not really my kind of thing. But I do find it interesting because I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who plays like the sleazeball
Oscar
mobster.
Isaacs?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac. It's funny because I always saw him in the sleaze roles before episode 7, and so I think it's funny to see him go back to that because I'm like, oh, now that feels like that's where I can see you playing that because when I saw him playing
Apocalypse.
No, that too. I forgot about that.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah, Poe Dameron. I was like, what? This is weird. He's like a good guy. I'm used to him being like the asshole. But,
see, I've always seen likable Oscar Isaac, so I haven't seen too much of the sleazeball, except maybe like a romantic comedy or two.
Sucker Punch.
Technically,
I never saw Sucker Punch.
Oh,
he was like the guy who ran the whorehouse or whatever.
I forgot. He was the really dickbag doctor guy.
Yeah.
I also remember him. He was also an Ex Machina, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's the
that's because it's not an Oscar Isaac movie unless he's dancing somewhere.
Dancing?
Oh yeah, Oscar Isaac dances. He dances a lot of his movies.
I have got to show you that movie when I get a chance. That is the most.
She was there in Ex Machina.
Yeah, that's where I first met you guys.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's where we met.
I didn't realize it was that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I forgot, but yeah, I totally forgot about the.
You remember the dance number in that movie?
It was really out of nowhere.
Very well.
To be fair, it was really out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's made a memorable for me. But anyway, so next trailer is Happy Death Day. I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see this.
I didn't realize that it was written by the same people who did Get Out, but didn't Jordan Peele do Get Out?
Now Jordan Peele directed Get Out.
Oh, directed it. He didn't write it. Okay, but still.
Now I'm really interested.
Well, that's why was like, oh, okay, well then I would definitely give it a chance if it was.
Wait, no. Oh no, it's from the producing studio.
Oh, well, that's not as exciting.
Yeah.
No,
that being said,
not.
the Blue House has been on a fairly good roll these past several months.
I mean, like, I was like, slasher fiction meets Groundhog's Day. I'm down for that.
Yeah. That's basically what I was thinking too.
Like, and it also looks like one of those movies that they clearly don't know how to advertise, which makes me even more curious.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's trying to make it like a horror movie, but also the trailer very looks very comedy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you have no clue how to advertise it. I'm kind of curious.
From what I've heard, it is definitely a dark comedy.
So yeah, it's written by Scott Lobdell, who wrote the 90s X-Men cartoon.
Ooh.
And Days of Future Past.
Oh, wow.
Arguably the best.
Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, are you sure he just didn't write the comics? Because they
No,
did.
it says the cartoon.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of the episode.
Cool. Well, that
And Godzilla, he wrote one episode.
actually, the fact that he worked on that would explain Days of Future Past. Oh wait, no, he was in the movie.
Yeah, apparently he was. He was Blink. Or she. Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh no, Oh yeah, he was a character writer.
Yeah. Uncredited, apparently.
So that okay.
So, yeah.
So that must mean he created the character, possibly.
Possibly. Either way, I'm curious. Then we got Alpha. That was 300 meets
10,000
BC meets 127 days.
Meets a Dog's Purpose, basically.
No more Josh Gad. Please, no more Josh Gad. You fuckers made me go see that by myself. Do you remember Dog's Purpose?
I didn't see it.
Good. It was one where Josh Gad narrates as a dog for an hour and a half, and it's fucking obnoxious.
Would you feel better if I said it was part Call of the Wild?
I feel better.
There we go. Okay, so it's So it's 10,000 BC meets Call of the Wild.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bring up Dog's Purpose in this car. God, this is a sacred place. It's a
Yeah,
safe
this
space.
is my car, remember?
Yeah, because my car's a pit. Full of Batman parts.
What'd you do to Batman?
You don't want to know. Let me tell you a secret. I am Batman. What do you think of Alpha?
It just seems like a normal day with my dog.
So you naturally go hunting.
I saw him
with
like
buffalo.
go and try and give the dog water, and it was like, "Grr," and I was like, oh, that seems like today when I tried to take the bone away from Aria, because like we just went out and bought her a bone, like a few bones today, but we didn't give it to her. She like grabbed it from her like bin and started chewing on it. I was like, wait a minute, what does that sound? And so I went over and I went to try and grab it from her, and she was like growling at me, snapping at me, and I was like, wow, that. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, I literally just experienced that today. So basically, this movie is going to be my daily life of owning a husky.
So you just need to go on this magical journey. Fight.
Do I need to break my foot first?
Yeah. Well, of course, you gotta hunt. You gotta find buffalo first, though. That's gonna be hard in California.
Fall off a cliff.
Then fall off a cliff, then break your foot. Then you'll run into Aria, and she'll guide you the rest of the way.
Well, to be fair, it's easy to hunt them if you don't mind getting arrested.
That's why I say, like, my dad's a Harvard lion and a lifetime ban at the zoo. Never heard that joke?
God damn it.
Then we got Thor Ragnarok.
Yay!
Yay!
I want to see it.
Yeah.
But I like the Marvel movies.
I like how they're actually taking advantage of the fact that Chris Hemsworth actually has great comedic timing.
Yeah.
Which is refreshing from the first two Thor movies. Which still had comedic moments, but they weren't usually from Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Well, you got some good ones in the first one.
Yeah,
namely, every time I got injected fertilizer.
That's true.
Another!
And all
Yeah.
that. This one, like, even like in the TV spot they just released the other day, where like girls like, does your team have a name? He goes, we're the Revengers. It's like, Revengers? We don't need a name. We don't need a name. So I'm excited. Yeah, that's gonna be good. And yeah, like I said, that movie's only an hour and a half too, which makes me curious. Yeah, you and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
We had some dispute, as in I was right and you were wrong. I just need to
Yeah.
correct you properly.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. Well, AMC lied to me.
Yeah. Yes, they did. Haha.
Yeah.
I just like being right because it happens so rarely.
I'm sorry that I went to a somewhat more official source and they lied to me.
I went to the source, motherfucker. I went to the director.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Take that, you mullet-wearing asshole.
Damn.
You kind of have a mullet.
Damn.
No, it's only a mullet if it's like super short in the front.
We can fix that.
Please don't.
One day you're just gonna wake up like, my God, what happened to my hair? And on the bathroom mirror is gonna heat up in the shower and just gonna say, you know what you did, or something like that.
You do.
It's kind of like how I have a plan for Howard if he ever pisses me off too much. I'm just gonna leave like a Jack in the Box on the edge of his bed. Have it set up to go off when he leans forward. Just go dun 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 dun. I'm gonna break it just a little bit. And so dun 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 dun. I'm a cruel person when you make me mad. Then we got Jigsaw. Speaking of cruel tortures,
thought they were done with the series.
I thought so too.
I knew it would come back. I remember I saw this trailer a while ago. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I appreciated two things: the Roy Orbison in the trailer, and just that one line is,
well,
that's not creepy.
It would have been great if Matt Damon was on the little tiny bicycle.
Oh God.
Matt Damon.
Well, there's that. That's in my head. And then we got Kingsman 2 and Geostorm, which we talked about so many times. Do you have anything to add about those two movies at all?
I still haven't seen the first Kingsman, but everyone keeps telling me I need to.
Yes, you do.
And then Geostorm, I don't give a fuck. It looks stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, what was that? I leaned over, was like, all right, what if we remade The Day After Tomorrow,
but made it worse?
Yeah.
Well, what?
It's like, what if we remade The Day After Tomorrow, but made it worse? We made it stupider.
It's more like somebody grabbed a copy of Day After Tomorrow and Guardians of the Galaxy and said, make them kiss. This is what happened.
Yeah. Hey, GoldenEye had a satellite that destroyed stuff, right? What if it controlled the weather?
No, we did that and Die Another Day, and look how that turned out.
I love that movie. Let's do it! No!
Can we get Pierce Brosnan? Is he available? No, Gerald Butler will have to do. He's too busy making that Jackie Chan movie. Fine. You want to do quality work? That's his business. We're gonna make fucking Geostorm.
Yeah. Admittedly, I'm debating the quality, but I'm still really excited for that movie.
Fair enough. What do you think? The Fugitive looks as on par with Geostorm?
No, as in the point that
I'm talking
Jackie
about
Chan's movies lately, even his serious stuff that had potential, they're great.
I like Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, and 3.
Where he is the main focus. When I say a Jackie Chan movie, I mean where like he's the main guy.
Oh, he's got Ninjago coming out.
I'm excited for that one.
Alright, so that's the last one we got. So you guys got any final thoughts for it?
I say go see it.
Definitely check it out.
I recommend it. So I think that's it. All we got. So what even comes out? Oh, American Assassin comes out today.
I said American Assassin.
American Assassin.
Like they're sassy.
It's sassy America. American sassy. I would crash my car to go see a movie called American Sassy. Assassins that are
American
just
Assassin?
American Assassin. That's the South Park version. And then what else? What's the other movie that comes out today?
Oh God! I had a terrible thought. That American Assassin turned out to be a subtitle for a blue-collar comedy tour movie.
I used to watch them as a kid. I can't judge it too harshly.
I still like Bill Engvall.
I do too, and I didn't really like Larry the Cable Guy or Ron White had its moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest I couldn't.
Jeff Foxworthy.
I like Jeff Foxworthy. I could not give two shits about Larry the Cable Guy though.
Yeah.
Okay. What is out this week?
So yeah, American Assassin.
Oh, Mother.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, Mother and American Assassin. Those are the two priorities for next week. So we'll try to get to see more movies next week. Sorry I didn't get too many this week. Things got really hectic and really hairy, and I had to deal with a bunch of shit. So try to get more next week. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me, and see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.